Do you know what time it is?
Podcast time.
I see myself.
Well, let's see how bad this can go tonight. Mark, how we doing?
Oh boy, this is going to be so great. It's going to be the best. My brain to mouth wiring is a little off, and it's not because of anything other than it's off. So
We'll see how things go
that
tonight.
goes.
Hey, everybody that's in the chat. We got quite a few people already interacting
Yep.
with us tonight.
They
Hey,
want
everybody.
some hold music.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, you started talking. You started talking through our introduction. So
And that's fine. It was
Yeah.
better than your introduction.
what we got in
what?
here? We've got Angela's here and
Jeannie
Blue
and
Carson's
Becky.
here. Yeah, we got all the people.
And Ray Sean,
Ray Sean's
as
here.
you like to
That's-
call him.
I understand he got a PlayStation 5. Is that a secret, or I just out him?
You probably outed him.
Oh, whoops. I'm like 2,000 miles away, so I don't really care. It's Sunday night, man. Sunday night. Hey, how much have you had to drink tonight, buddy?
Just water.
Just water.
Just the backside of water.
Oh, there we go. There we
Yeah.
go. For those of you that were here last week, my apologies for the my inability to hold the show by myself, as Mark's computer was having a hard time. He had technical difficulties, which is only apropos considering I had them the week before. So
Apparently, I am the anchor,
yes,
but
without Mark,
I was really an anchor last week.
Yeah, there is no show without Mark. That is the absolute truth. So
Well,
what's on our agenda today, Mark? Tell
Well,
us about
you
what
know,
we're gonna
this
talk
has
about.
been a really boring week, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, you enjoyed it, I'm sure. A little bit.
I have been glued to the interwebs.
Oh my God.
Quite a bit the last week, and I
What
gotta
a
tell you,
train
man,
wreck.
it's been a rough week.
Oh, it's gross. It's
What's
honestly
the
gross.
highlight for you? I mean,
The highlight?
yeah,
I'm not sure there is a highlight. I mean, this lots of lowlights. I mean, I don't even know what to. There is no highlight. The highlight, you know what? Honestly, the highlight was listening to Joe Biden off the cuff talk for 20 minutes, no teleprompting, nothing,
right.
and he seems extremely confident. And I don't think I expected that. Honestly, that was probably the highlight.
Sure.
I mean, he's confident in the inauguration going off with a hitch. I mean, he was very clear that a different group of people will be running the inauguration, not the Capitol Police. So, he's ready. He's
Sure.
ready.
Well, and that's good. And I definitely hear what you're saying as far as not being any high points. I do got to say, I did have one thing. Man, I post a lot on Facebook. I just realized that. I was just going to share, though, for those that may not know, that I actually I was able to get the vaccine this week. On Wednesday, I was given the first dose of the vaccine. I go back on February 4th for my second dose. I did get the Moderna vaccine, which makes me happy. And I'll tell you, I have absolutely had a few side effects. Nothing tragic. I mean, I'm not
Just so you know.
breaking up video or audio.
No, the audio's a little bit choppy. Just and we're really blurry.
Yeah, I might be I'm not. Oh, I got some drop frames too, so we're definitely doing some stuff. It might be because I brought Facebook up. Technical difficulties. We're doing things a little bit different this week, so if you guys see anything or hear anything, let us know so we can. I'm testing a new setup here. I'm running everything back through my main PC, and I got a new video capture card and stuff. So if it's a little wonky, just let me know. So yeah, I got the vaccine. I've got my arm where I received the vaccine was really, really sore for a couple days afterward. But I've also had some body aches and a little bit of the sniffles and a little bit of a headache and stuff like that, and just kind of felt just for a few days.
Do you normally get the flu shot every year?
Nope.
Okay,
Not a flu shot guy.
Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of a new thing for you.
Well, that's what I heard. Especially for those that don't get a regular vaccine, that this hits them a little bit harder than it does for others. So maybe that'd be part of it. I mean, the last time I had a vaccine like this, I think I was in the Marine Corps, so probably 25 years ago or more.
Forced you into it.
Yeah, for sure. So we are 10 days away right now from inauguration?
Yeah, 10 days away. I mean, less than 10 days away at this point. I mean, it'll be a done deal by now. It's 8 o'clock back where you're at. So
correct.
I mean, we're 9.5 days away. I mean, let's see what happens. We've got a president or future former president who has no voice anymore. I just read an article. Parler, the CEO of Parler, just said he's going to probably have to go out of business. So
good.
That's good.
Yep.
That kind of eliminates one other channel. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get another channel up in time before the inauguration to get everything going.
No, I highly doubt it. I mean, there's a couple smaller websites out there that people use, but I mean, they're certainly not the significance that Parler had got. I mean, because it took off like overnight. I mean, that website went from nothing to the alternative to Facebook really, really quickly. The good news is, at least in my opinion, the good news is that this is not a freedom of speech issue. I see people, I keep just a handful, just a small amount of conservative friends, Trump supporting friends on my social media.
One of them blocked me today, by the way.
One of your, yeah. Don't worry about him. So so the idea is that this is an infringement upon everybody's freedom of speech, which is utter nonsense. It's simply not the case. That's not at all what this is. And a private company has every right to block these things. And I also may say, at the end of the day, freedom of speech should not protect lies and misinformation and propaganda. And this is what happened in Germany. We're seeing so many parallels to the rise of the Nazi regime, right down to how Hitler came out of power the first time and lost his influence, and then came back with this undercurrent of people that felt that he was wrong, that ran to his support. We're seeing that right now. The difference is, I think Trump has less followers today than he did a month ago. But what he's done is he's distilled it into the most dangerous of them. And so now they're forming this pack. They're forming this, and I don't mean political action committee. I mean, they're like a pack, like wolves. And their message is now getting magnified and echoed back to them. And they're blocking out all reason. It's crazy. I've got a friend of mine, and I'm not going to, at no point will I ever post. Like I said, I keep some friends that are on the weird side of things, but at no point will I point them out publicly. But there is a guy that I used to consider a pretty good friend. He was in a punk rock band. He was, he lived that punk life, anti-government, anti-establishment, anti-blah, blah, blah, blah. And that's all great. And then he moved down to North Carolina or South Carolina. I forgot which one it even is. It's really one state in my mind. But he moved down to the South. And now he's posting like this really radical, super Trumper nonsense. He reposts it now. He doesn't have a single common sense thought to himself. He only copies and pastes other nonsense. But he posted a thing today that I had to finally get involved with, and it was a repost of something basically saying something to the effect that we all here in the United States are having the information that's disseminated to us via the internet being controlled, much like you would see in like Egypt during the Arab Spring, or and then or what they do in China, that somehow information is being blocked from the American people, so that we're only getting one message, which is untrue. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, the idea that could even happen in this country. I mean, first of all, full disclosure, there's already things happening in this country I never thought would happen. But the idea of us not having full access to the internet here in the United States, there are too many different ways. I really thought you were frozen again until your eyes blinked. The idea that we can have our information blocked from us.
You're probably boring me.
No,
just kidding.
Go ahead. What are your thoughts, Mark?
Oh, I don't know. You keep talking. I'm enjoying this.
Needless to say, I am a socialist. I am a Democrat. I am anti Republican Party. I'm anti-conservatism. I'm anti-evangelicalism. I'm anti-Trump, period, full stop. This has been an incredible week for me because everything that I could possibly want to see happen has happened. Believe it or not, the insurrection's terrible. The loss of life is terrible. But it pulled back the curtain. I mean, Oz has been shown for who Oz is right now, and there is a benefit to that.
It was absolutely, and I hate to say it this way, but I believe it wholeheartedly. This was absolutely the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're right. It is you're going to find the Timothy McVeighs in there, and that's scary, but they were there the whole time.
Correct.
You're getting rid of all the people that were fringe, they want out.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be easier to identify the actual dangerous individuals, the patriots. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
And be able to single them out and take care of it. I mean, you're talking about this whole thing made the FBI's job so much easier. I mean, they were able to eliminate 90% of the Trump followers as non, combative. And, okay, you're going to hate this. You're not going to like me saying this. I certainly sit right of you, but certainly left of center.
Sure.
I do feel a little bit of compassion for the people that got suckered into this. I just, and I know and I shouldn't, and I really shouldn't.
Right.
But man, what a bunch of
no.
idiots.
And I understand what you're saying as far as that goes. And you do make a point. I have, like, this guy that I was talking about down the Carolinas.
Wait, time out.
What do you got?
That's the first time you've ever said that. We're on 17 episodes. I thank you.
Here we go.
Appreciate it.
All right, I take it back. So I agree with you 100% in the fact that it's kind of sad that they're bamboozled into this. Jessica and I have actually had several conversations about how we got here, and the reality is that part of the agenda of the Republican Party for the better part of 5 decades now, I would say, safe to say, has been to uneducate the American people. In order for their messaging to work, because you got to keep in mind that the Republican establishment, their main customer is big corporate interest.
Sure.
Oil, the oil industry, the auto industry,
clean coal.
Yeah, clean. Yeah, all that kind of stuff, right? And it's all about not free trade and capitalism and less regulation and it's all corporate greed. And then in order to expand their base, they also opened their titty up to the evangelicals and promised to get rid of abortion, and that was only to draw on the evangelicals. But in order for them to bring together a coalition of enough voters, an electorate large enough for them to continue to win office, they needed stupid people. And that's why you saw the Republican Party over a number of decades really push to get as many Republicans on school boards as they could in order to damage our school systems. And now you're reaping the benefits of that now. There's a reason why, if you look at a map of the United States and you can take a map of education, you can take a map of health, and you can take a map of party affiliation and economics, like where per capita income, along with education, along with health, along with Republicans, and they look exactly the same. They're all the same map. So the wealthiest people tend to be on the edges of the country. The most educated people tend to be on the edges of the country. The people with the longest life expectancy and the better childbirth numbers are on the edges of the country. Republicans are all in the middle. Democrats are on the edges of the country. This is by design. And it's, they attach themselves to the rural people. They talk about farmers, yet they're not for farmers. They're for big agriculture. They're for big corporate ag. They're not for the small farmer that could give a rat's ass about them because they're not donating. Their decisions are all made based on who's paying for their campaign finance. And, we're seeing that now. What happened was Trump brought in all of these people that are just, and really his electorate is not Republicans. His electorate are people that don't want to be PC anymore. They want to be able to say whatever they want to say. They like professional wrestling. They like NASCAR. They like sports. They like competition.
Well, let's be fair. I like those things too.
No. I know. But I'm talking about, there's a Venn diagram, right? There's a Venn diagram where these all come together. It's the latent racists. It's the uneducated. Like Bob Woodward from the Washington Post, the guy that was behind the entire Watergate fiasco. He has the best quote of the entire Trump presidency. Donald Trump is what stupid people think intelligence sounds like, and that's his electorate. That is who he attracts. And so out of that has come this boiled down amalgamation of all of these things that we've talked about that has created this radicalization of rednecks. These people that have played part-time militia for the last 50 years in the middle of New Mexico or Montana or Idaho or Wyoming or southern Indiana or western West Virginia. These are mountain people, river people, hillbillies. You know, and these people now they've got their calling, and it's not even so much that they are sycophantic toward Donald Trump. They're sycophantic to the fact that there is a leader who's been outed as a racist, and even if he is not appealing to them, the fact that he does not condemn racism makes him appealing. He's not giving them direct financial payments, but he put his name on a check. And they're too stupid to realize he has nothing to do with it.
$600.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, and you know what you say about racism too? A card-carrying Republican, conservative, whatever you want to call them, they may have thoughts that are racist, but they're never going to say it. They're never going to bring it out. This is the first guy that just said, "Screw it. I'm just going to tell you how it is."
Right.
And that's what got him elected. I mean, he was a difference. He was a change, and that's actually probably what got him booted out as well.
Well, right, and the other thing to not, you can't shake a stick at is the fact that for the last 20 years, the presidency, oftentimes a president will come into office with a higher than average job performance rating, right? So you might see a brand new president get a job performance rating up in the 60s or 70s, and that's really good considering generally less than 50% of the population actually votes for him. So when you ride that for a while, then it slowly dips and dips and dips and dips. By the end of the presidency, sometimes they're down in the 20s, 30s, whatever the case may be. Our Congress, the House of Representatives as well as the Senate, have been sitting in single digits for the better part of 30 years. And part of that reason why he appealed is because he bucked Washington.
I just got to say this. This is how far this is going. The company that processes Donald Trump's online payments for his donations just booted him.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's just everybody. There's so much distancing in the corporate world. And I said since from the beginning, this isn't a government thing. This is a corporate thing. Once you start losing the corporations, you are gone.
Well, and that's what I think you're going to see happen with the Lindsey Grahams and the Mitch McConnells out there too, is that they're going to have their major corporate donors are going to say, you're going to distance yourself. You're going to impeach him. We're not donating again.
Yep. And they got to save their own skin at this point. Yeah. And you know what? They might have just did it just by the skin of their teeth.
Well, if you don't have.
Well, Lindsey Graham might have saved himself. No, and old Josh Hawley's going away.
Hawley, they are both positioning themselves for a 2024 run. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, right, whatsoever. Right. But there also is a possibility that Trump may be, and possibly as a third-party candidate. What do you think?
Well,
I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think that's a possibility? Do you think
Trump running again?
Do you think he would? Okay.
No, I actually really do believe that Donald Trump will be in a federal president in 4 years. I really do believe
that may be true as well.
And if not a federal president, he'll be in New York State, Attica probably, Rikers Island,
I
something like that.
New York State's probably your best hope, because if he thinks he's going down, he may just resign under the.
I don't think Pence will pardon him right now. I don't think Pence will pardon him after he called for Pence's death. I mean, they had a gallows set up. Somebody built a gallows in the National Mall for Mike Pence.
Yep. And people were screaming, "Where's Mike? Where's Pence?"
Yeah, they have not.
And you're right. That ship may have sailed as well.
Yep.
But that's his only shot, I think.
Well, and the reason why. So this is part of the reason. Like, everybody's like, "Well, why do they wait? Why do they wait? Why are they doing it now?" I think they're doing it now is because he realizes at this point now that he has no protections left. Right. He realizes that he's definitely out of office, and he knows that he's going to be incarcerated if he doesn't find a way to fix it. The only answer, this is a desperate man who is terrified to die in prison. And so for him, he's going to die in prison either way, unless he can actually overthrow the government. And he thinks he has an army. So they took away his only method of getting that message out there. You know, a lot of people have made a really good point on social media. He has a press room in his house. Yep. Across the hallway from his office. He can walk and talk on national television at any point in time.
Not anymore.
He's not doing it because they won't let him. They took Twitter away. They've taken the press room away.
he has no voice.
Yep,
At this point, he has no voice.
Yeah, which is
and hell, he can't even make any money off of stupid idiots anymore.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
great.
Amazing.
Speaking of everybody shutting him down, even Pornhub said that they canceled his account today. I mean, I'm sure he didn't actually have an account, but they actually put a tweet out. You know, that due to all this for circumstances, Pornhub has canceled Donald Trump's account. I think that is great.
So, God, what an asshole!
Well, I've been ranting here. I feel like we've been missing some of these comments here. Let's take a look and see what we got going. I know you guys were talking about Parlay in there for quite a bit. Yeah, I don't hear when Parlay to speak. Parlay who idiot, of course. Yeah.
Oh, I like what Paul just said. Paul,
what did he say?
13210.
Oh, Iran,
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Putin's gonna take him.
Yeah. Well, I still okay. So there's some talk. The funny thing is there was a conversation not too long ago about how, not a conversation, I should say, an article about how there is a flight for Air Force One on the schedule for the 19th to Scotland. Did you see anything about that?
And I did. And I heard that Scotland said, nah, you're not coming here.
Right. So yes,
I have seen that.
Scotland could be Moscow, you know?
It could.
That's the only other out he has is to leave the country.
I don't know if anyone would even take him at this point.
Well, I think Russia would. They've been hiding what's his face. Actually, two guys now? Snowden and the other guy there. The
you know what I'm talking
transgender
about.
guy. I can't think of his name right now.
Who's the other guy? No, Assange.
Oh no,
he's in the UK now.
UK, yeah.
He's in the UK now.
So they anyway, they've had Snowden for years. Russia has they have no qualms about hiding somebody. And what a coup. What a coup for them to have a US president
with all the secrets.
Yeah, with all the secrets that turns.
The funny part is, do you think he actually even read any of that shit in 4 years?
I've had this conversation this week, as a matter of fact, this idea that he's, what is he going to do after he's out of office? He has state secrets. I don't
know if he even knows.
I think the adults in the room kept that secret book away from him.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because I think the only thing he would have been interested in is to see if aliens are real. He would have looked that up, I think. Outside of that, I don't think he cares.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't think so either. And the thing is, he's the kind of person that he would have talked about it if it was true. He would have said that in a tweet. I mean, this is a man.
He probably would have.
This is a man in the first months of his presidency invited Russian agents into the Oval Office without cameras or staff on hand and shared state secrets with them. This was in his first months in office. So you think for a second the CIA, NSA, and FBI have not pulled back and stopped him from getting information? Plus you got the Joint Chiefs of Staff were directed by Congress, or I should say asked, not directed because they can't direct them, but they were asked by Congress to basically put up a wall between Trump and the codes. Don't let him fire nuclear missiles just for shits and giggles, because that would keep him in office.
Yeah, and I think they'll make that happen. So
yeah,
but yeah, isn't that terrifying to think that that's a conversation that has to be had?
Yeah,
I mean, how ridiculous is that? I mean, you've had presidents run off, you've had Nixon run away. They didn't. Even Nixon just tucked his tail in between his legs and ran away. It wasn't. God, I hope that's what happens.
The other thing is, keep in mind too. There's a lot happening. When you see news that makes its way onto the New York Times or NBC or CNN or whatever the case may be, all these things are information that is being handed to these people.
Sure.
There's more that happens behind the scenes that we don't ever find out about, and there is a real chance that there are negotiations happening. Nixon, when he resigned because of negotiations. It's not like he
resigned because there was very clear that yes, the Republicans were going against him. He was going away. And it was simple enough just to say, bye, I'm done.
So there is a very good chance that Donald Trump right now is being approached. And they're saying to him, just hypothetically, resign, disappear, and as long as you do these things, A, B, and C, whatever the case may be, we won't seek prosecution. We have the AG of New York, and if you disappear, nothing happens to you. You can still be the kingmaker if you want to be, or whatever the case may be, but we need you to get out of the spotlight right now, and we need you to just disappear. That's what we need from you to heal the country.
I think that's probably an accurate way of saying it. I think that's probably, I hope it's likely, but there's something that's always been on my mind with that. So let's say they tell him that we're not going to prosecute. We're going to, let you go. You do whatever you want to do. What if there's a but to that? But everybody else, all your underlings, they're done. We're not letting this happen. We're letting you be on an island by yourself. Is he going to sacrifice his kids? Is he going to sacrifice? Giuliani's done for.
Yeah, Giuliani's going
to prison. Do you really think that? I think he'll sacrifice his kids.
Yeah, Don Jr. Yeah, I don't think
Eric and Don are going bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't think for a second that he would stop that. I agree 100%. They would be going to jail. This man is only out for himself. I mean, he threw his own brother under the bus more than once.
Took his money.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I think this man would hang anybody. In order to benefit himself.
Maybe not Ivanka. That might be his line.
Yeah, well, maybe. But, he would put Jared away so he could have Ivanka to himself.
Well, I was going to say they'd probably get a plane, but they'd have to share a seat.
Come sit on daddy's lap, baby.
Good Lord. That's what the hell?
Oh, man. Do you watch the podcast, Make Podcasts Great Again?
No, I don't watch podcasts.
Or listen to, I should say. There's a podcast.
I listen to Disney podcasts. I watch Disney Cruise podcasts. That's what I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Paul's right. Right now, Pence hates him too. I agree 100% about Pence hating him.
Pence is screwed over because of this. He was in position to run for 2024.
I still think he can't do it. I think his speech on the floor of the Senate after everything happened that night. He can campaign on that alone. I distanced myself from Trump in the end. He's going to be at the inauguration. True. Pence will be at the inauguration.
He may be coming out of this looking the best of all of them.
Oh yeah,
which is amazing because there's things that I know he's done that you don't like, and I know there's a lot of things he's done that I don't like. But you know what? The one thing I've always thought while he's in there is he's doing it because that's how he feels and he's genuine about it.
Sure.
And that's at least something. I mean, sure. Trump's just. I think of Trump and might just get sick to my stomach. I don't feel that way about Pence. He doesn't represent me and my beliefs, but
he's got convictions.
He's a Republican. I mean, he's an actual conservative. And he's not some guy who's a Democrat for. Yeah, I mean, he's got a real Republican base, not just a bunch of lunatics.
He's beloved in Indiana, man. People in Indiana absolutely love that man. And I will say this for Pence, only in defense of Pence, and this will be a short conversation. He handled the pandemic stuff when he was put in charge of the pandemic thing early on. He handled that well until Trump did not like him having the spotlight. Yep. So he stepped back into it and took it over again.
There was one moment right at the beginning that he got criticized for massively, and I think you and I may have discussed this, just between the two of you. Right at the beginning, right before.
Did you just give me multiple personalities?
Well, I gave maybe me. So hey, I told you the brain mouth connection's a little off today.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Right before his first press conference for COVID, there was a picture of him widely circulated of him praying with his group of handlers, people he was working with. He was criticized immensely for that. And I by the left.
Sure.
And to be honest, that kind of thing kind of bothers me. It's not my thing. I'm not going to go do it. But man, the guy went in. It's just like if you went to meditate or something like that. He went in, he needed to center himself, and that's how he knows how to do it. And he did that, and he came out, and he was effective. And, however you get there, at the end of the day, let's just get there.
Yep.
And that's, so again, I don't agree with him, but I see his point. Sure. I see where he's coming from.
Sure.
I never know. Nobody ever knew where Trump was coming from. I mean, shit.
Listen, at the end of the day, his track record is going to prove it. And the other thing is, to keep in mind, there's going to be so much information that comes out about his presidency that up until now, people have been afraid to talk about. You're going to find out a lot more about the decisions he made, how he enriched himself while he was in office. It's ridiculous how he, maneuvered and overbilled the Secret Service for hotels and the travel and the deals he made with foreign dignitaries in order to build, Trump properties in the future. This is why I think he doesn't allow himself to go to jail. I would be unshocked, not shocked, in the opposite of shocked.
Unshocked. That's not a word either.
No, I don't think anything more. If he ends up in Russia, I think that's where he goes. And if he doesn't, then he's going to do everything in his power to find a way to disrupt the government over the course of the next 10 days. Now,
okay, so
clearly he can't do it in Twitter, but
Paul just posted, speaking to our people, I hope the Great Fence is built before our inauguration day.
Well, yeah, I guess Canada and
so
and
did
Mexico.
do you happen to have that video of the fence really working well at the Capitol? I mean, they found out. I mean, a few of them fell to their deaths.
Oh,
I mean,
well, I don't know if they fell to their deaths, but they definitely fell.
Hey, I can think they did.
Yeah, there's a couple failures of the wall climbing. Actually, let me see if I can find one of those.
So the other thing too is there's so many people that are working for Trump right now that are unemployable, completely 100% unemployable, that there's going to be some amazing books because that's the only way they're going to make money. It's so, God, I can't wait for the books. I might actually read a book. That'd be impressive, right?
Yeah.
So
here's a fail video.
Oh yeah, the one where you fall. That's the best.
Oh, going down.
Yeah.
So fun fact, the stories were
Can you tell that he actually hit the fence?
As you may have heard.
That's too loud. What's that?
I think he hit the fence, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he fell and hit that metal barrier on his way down.
So yep, they used that to climb. Oh yeah, and this one too, where they show the difference. It's
God, it's terrible.
Oh, what a train wreck! You keep putting weird shit up. You're putting all of our all of our business out there with our keys and everything.
Listen, man, you can't see it. It's all asterisked out. We're fine. Nobody's gonna jump into our thing.
That's okay. We ain't big enough.
Whew, yeah, all 10 of them. Actually, we've had a concurrent 9 viewers.
We've been at 9. 9 people enjoy the politicking.
Yeah, we've been sticking right at it. We never really have consistently gone above 10 though. You guys, listen. You guys, first of all, you guys need to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give us a subscription, and although I'm sure if you're here already, you probably already
hit that thumbs
subscribe
up
button. Yeah, thumbs up would be great too. Why isn't?
Oh yeah, where's your new hotness? Let's see your new hotness. Let's see your subscribe dingy button.
Where is it? It's not coming up, man.
He made it for his channel, but didn't make one for ours.
He made it for ours too. I don't know what you're talking about.
What ads, dude?
It should be up right now. It tells me it's playing. I have no idea why it's not playing.
So.
No, there it goes.
Oh yeah.
There it goes. There we got it.
Paul just talked about the tased. I mean, I didn't want to go here because it's kind of sad people die, but you know what? There's the story out there. Chris and I were talking about this beforehand. So the whole story, which I doubt is real, but I sure hope it is. He said the story is he tased his balls and it gave him a heart attack and he died.
He fell. So the story going around is that he was part of the people that were storming into the building, and somewhere along the way he fell. So there's 2 people that died falling. And
somebody tased their balls.
Yeah, so he had a taser in his pocket. When he hit the ground, it went off. And he had fallen. He just kept tasing his testicles until he died. Well, he died of a heart attack, not of the tasers, but it did fry his balls, which I don't have any problem with that. The best one though is the nearly 300-pound woman carrying the "Don't Tread on Me" flag that was actually trampled to death. That is just the ultimate and perfect irony. That is just incredible to me. Paul, is that the story you read? The one I just told?
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. Now there was a gentleman that had a heart attack. There was just a regular heart attack. And unfortunately, he was on the phone with his wife when he went down, she was there while they were giving chest compressions. He was outside. He wasn't actually storming the building. He was on the east lawn. I don't know if you're familiar with the Capitol building, but there's 2.
I am now.
Well, and I've been there. There's 2 major entrances.
The
west entrance and the north or the east entrance. West entrance is the one where you're going to see the inauguration take place, and that's the one that faces the National Mall. The east one is the business side of things, and that's where if you go to visit the nation's capital, that's where you go in at. And they have these wraparound steps that are inaccessible, and then you have the main doors that you go into, which lead to this large atrium area, and then you can sign up for tours and all that kind of stuff. They were all congregating over there. Now, they were also congregating the other side, which is what you saw over the news, but where they were having the clashes with the police, that's that door. So the one where you saw the guard that was killed, that was on the east lawn door, or the east entrance, I should say. And the gentleman was on the hill. So they call it Capitol Hill because that is up on a hill separate from the National Mall. It actually does. In fact, that road, as you continue to go east from the Capitol building, it's really steep. I've ridden my bike and I've ridden my skateboard up that hill, and it's significant. But he just was fat and old and had a heart attack and died, and that shit happens. It sucks. But the funny thing is about this thing, I talked about this on my channel last week. I was walking to go into that building a couple of years ago, and I had a backpack on, and I had one of those mesh pouches off the side, and I kept my water bottle right there. And from my time in the military and whatnot, I've got some hearing issues, and especially when there's a lot of noise, I have a hard time hearing specific things. And the next thing I know, one of the guards raised an MP4 and aimed it right at me. I had not heard him tell me that I had to throw away my water bottle. And he had to repeat himself a couple of times, and I didn't notice he was yelling at me until that went up. But these men do not fuck around. No. And they showed unbelievable restraint, even as they were watching one of their own get clubbed to death. I don't think that those people, right? So we talk about this idea that there was a conspiracy to let them all in. I don't, for the life of me, believe that those guards, because those guards are Capitol Police, but they are of a different unit. They're there to guard the building. Then there's the other Capitol Police,
the ones outside,
the ones that are inside, and that's a whole different group of people. And a lot of them came out, especially on the west side, facing the National Mall, and those are the ones that you've seen that were all lined up on the stairs, and then they're like, hey, let's open the gates up and let them in and bring them on in the building. Now, that could have been a command decision at somewhere higher up saying loss of life is not important right now. We don't, or I should say the loss of property is not important. Loss of life is more important. Let's just let them in. But there is cameras all over that building. There is footage of everything that happened. And it's all going to come to light in due course.
It already is.
See a lot of what happened.
So Rashawn and Eva just posted, why didn't the military lock down the areas while they were storming the Capitol?
Right.
2 reasons. There was no military there. It was just the Capitol Police.
Correct.
And white people.
Yeah, well, sure.
There you
go. But there were stories that were coming out that day that there were 4 separate requests from people inside the Capitol building to get the National Guard there, and they were all turned away.
Denied.
Yeah. So because the District of Columbia, Washington D.C., is not a state, they do not have their own National Guard unit. The National Guard has to come in from Virginia or Maryland, and they were denied that. Now that would have had to have come from the Pentagon or from the White House. The denial of that. So clearly it was denied 4 times. From my understanding, it was a call from Mitch McConnell in conjunction with Joe Biden that finally got them there. And that is what finally ended all of this. Now there was also military very close by. So the Marine Corps barracks, Marine Corps has a barracks at 8th and I, which is about 4 blocks. And these are not big blocks. They could have gotten there in 2 minutes. There is a unit of about, I think they have about 150 Marines there, give or take.
That would have solved the problem.
Sure. As a former Marine myself, you could send them in. I will say this: they are a ceremonial unit. The Marine Corps at 8th and I is made up of the Marine Corps band, but also if you've ever seen the silent drill team is stationed at 8th and I. Now the silent drill team, of course, they go perform ceremonies across the world. However, most of them are combat vets. Most of them are combat Marines. And they could have gone in there and messed some shit up for sure. But there is a specific rule. You do not use federal troops on civilians. Now, we saw the pictures, and of course this floated around the internet quite a bit after the events of Wednesday, where Donald Trump had the military, or what appeared to be military, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during the Black Lives Matter protest. Yeah. They were not. Those were Blackwater. They were paramilitary, basically mercenaries is who was there. None of them were following Geneva guidelines, the Geneva Convention guidelines. They weren't displaying their name. They weren't displaying their insignia. They weren't displaying their rank. There was nothing displayed. They were in identical uniforms, which is also very, very common among paramilitary. So those guys were Blackwater. The guy that owns and the corporate boss of Blackwater, very close friend of Donald Trump's. His sister is Betsy DeVos, who was the education secretary. So these people are all connected. And obviously Blackwater wasn't going to be there because Donald Trump, he wanted that to happen.
He did. He
made the whole thing happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame. Fuck, I don't even have a word for it. It's just it's so disgusting. It was disgusting to see that. And I'm there's a Wikipedia entry for failed coup attempts, and now we're in it.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that a week ago? Even a week ago.
And we were a joke. We were a joke to the world because of Trump for a very long time.
We were a joke because of COVID, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, it's not much better.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, dude, Trump had the option to buy as many shots of Moderna and Pfizer and AstraZeneca as he wanted to. He declined it. He was, what the hell? I mean, I know we're not talking about this in this conversation, but goddamn, it's just a one after the other of just complete and utter mess.
Well, and he couldn't acknowledge the reality of COVID because his base is made up of people that deny its danger, that deny the efficacy of masks. We actually probably dodged a bullet here, because if he had, he'd still be the president. If he would have just said, "Fine, everybody wear your masks," sure, he would have already had. Oh, sure. His people would have followed. Obviously, they will follow to the point of death. Sure. And the other people have common sense and go, "Oh, great, this guy actually knows what he's doing." Right.
He'd gotten those same people back. But
if he had done that, though, he most likely would have done other things that would have been more presidential. I mean, that was all indicative of his character.
But he only needed to do that. That was all it would take. We had a good economy. People were happy with that. All he needed, again, was Wisconsin, Michigan. I mean, and he's good to go. He's got Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. He's needs 200,000 people to change their mind, and they already had their mind made up 4 years ago to vote for him. So
I can't disagree. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, I'm glad it happened the way it happened, because it got him out of office. I mean, I don't want 300,000 dead people, but whatever it takes to get him out of office. I've said it since day one. That's the way it was going to have to be. Paul, as far as your comment there, I agree 100%. So Paul just said that, hold on, where's my thing here? Paul just said that COVID's going to go skyrocket down there because they weren't wearing masks.
But it's not down there. Yeah, it's not down there. It's everywhere.
He's talking about the protest or the insurrection attempt. Because most of the people that were storming that building weren't wearing masks. And I agree with you.
But what I'm saying is it's coming back here. I mean, we had 14 people banned from Alaska Airlines for life that were going from Washington, D.C. to Seattle because they would not wear their masks. They would not shut up. They would not stop on the plane. They've taken that super spreader event, brought it back to every single community in America.
Yeah.
And, oh, God,
in fact, right here in Syracuse, we had there's a gentleman that was in the building, in the Capitol building. They got him on camera. He's a resident here in Syracuse. They're looking for him right now. Last I checked, they still have not found him yet, but they'll get to him eventually.
Oh yeah.
We also had
about that.
Yeah, we also had one of the injured, the 50 injured police officers. One of them is a local resident from the town right next to me, Solvay, and he grew up here, went to high school here, and then moved down there. So there is, it's. God, what a mess it all is. And the thing is, even after he's out of office, this divide is not going to end. The Trumpers, which are, again, the Trumpers are not just one group. It's a coalition of a number of different groups, Proud Boys and different militia groups, but they all have one common denominator. And that's this anti-establishment, anti-PC, anti-progressive society ideal, this fend for your life, fend for the survival of the fittest, even though none of them are fit. The guy with the horns he's in pretty good shape.
Oh, hey,
find out he lives in his mother's basement in Arizona.
Oh my God,
have you heard about this guy?
Dude, yeah. So that's the best one. That I was actually just thinking about that because it's just so ridiculous. I mean, you get all these people, all these assholes out there talking about how Black Lives Matter, they can come and protest any day because they don't have jobs and they don't do this and they don't do that. And then they interview this guy's cousin and he's like, yep, he's out there because he's in between jobs right now.
Yeah, and he gets high and hangs out on the roof of the house and the neighbors laugh at him.
And he's a QAnon shaman. I mean, God damn, man. It's like, it's just, you can't even make this up. You can't even make it up. The hypocrisy is so ridiculous. And then you add on top of it, they're doing what they are telling everybody else they shouldn't be doing. Oh, God.
Exactly. No, I listen, I could not agree with you more. It is an absolute mess. So we are nearing the end of our time here. This has been a good one, man. See, this is what I'm saying.
That's all right.
When you come prepared, psychologically, emotionally, and physically,
And I typed my stuff out.
We do a much better job, I believe. I think think that is the case. We have a better show. Everything is grander. Next week,
and we're up to 11 people watching right now. Thank you so much.
Right at the very end of it, holy cow!
Yeah, they decided to save the back to 10. One went, nope, thanks, bye. Hey, save the best for last, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But next week.
So next week, let's go back to fun. So next week we got the premiere of WandaVision.
WandaVision coming next week. You can see on the screen right here. I cannot wait. The first first 3 episodes have been viewed by most of our. I think we watch a lot of the same review people.
Yeah.
The first 3 episodes have been viewed by Emergency Awesome and Beyond the Trailer, and they have said that it's even the New York Times said it's very, very good. It's funny. It's witty.
It hasn't even come out, and there's Emmy buzz. I mean, that's how.
It's really good. Next week they're releasing the first 2 episodes together at the same time. The common idea is that it's because the first 2 episodes include large portions of black and white, and so they don't want to confuse the audience for people that can't understand that just because a few minutes are in black and white doesn't mean the whole thing is. We're 100 years away from Wizard of Oz, so people don't get that anymore.
That's amazing. We are, aren't we?
Yeah, right. Crazy, right? So,
I think we gotta have a nice conversation about that, and then maybe we should talk about our trips again, because I think stuff for me is changing.
Yeah. So
you're not going anywhere apparently, even though I keep seeing Jessica post and really wants to go somewhere.
I am as of right now, I'm still going down for the inauguration. Next week. So we'll see what happens with that.
Do you have a room?
Fingers. I already have a room, yeah. So that's kind of and we can't get a refund. So I think we're gonna go down there. We actually got a pet friendly room anyway, so we're gonna bring the dog down and go out to some parks. If it's really crazy, so we didn't talk about this, but there's supposedly going to be another attempted insurrection and overthrow on the 16th. If that actually happens, if there's a mass event on the 16th and 17th down in DC, I'm not going anywhere near there.
Do they get who's going to be there this week? It's not going to be Capitol Police. It's going to be everyone.
Yeah, correct. There's going to be.
I mean, I don't know if you watched the interview the other night or when with Biden, and someone asked him a question. She asked a question about that. What about this? He basically completely said it's not the Capitol Police. They're not handling this. It's the Secret Service.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all.
Yeah.
So
so now when you start talking about them on Parler and these other sites, they're talking about actually stopping the government now and like creating a buffer around the White House. This is no longer protest. Now this is treason, and it's going to be treated so. There's a big difference.
Shoot to kill.
Yeah, now you bring the military. So this you bring the military in for now. So this will be approached very, very differently. It'll be over very, very quickly.
The other thing too is there's no ability to coordinate any efforts anymore. All of their outlets have shut them down.
Correct.
So
I mean, there's 4chan. 4chan's still out there. A lot of them find it on 4chan, and then it gets disseminated to local groups.
No, it's not Parlay. It is Parlor. They renamed it. It was originally supposed to be Parlay. I see Blue Carson post about it being Parlay. They changed it to the English word parlor.
Yeah, a while back.
Parlor. They didn't
Although
change
on the app,
spelling.
a lot of people's apps, it still says Parlay.
Yeah,
on the apps, but it's what a clusterfuck.
But it's gone. It's out of business now. So,
but the other thing I was going to say is that about a month, so they're like, I don't know if you got the email, but Disney Vacation Club right now is offering a 5th night free if you do 4 nights at Alani. So I'm going to be watching for last minute deals. Since I'm getting the vaccine and I'll have the 2 doses, I might look at a March or April Disney World just because I don't have to worry about catching the vaccine or catching the virus at that point.
That's funny you say that about Alani because I'm pricing it out right now. When our cruise gets canceled, we'll be there. That's our hope, and I know. I would be like, no.
I would happily go to Hawaii.
But you know what? You can go to Hawaii. You just get a test. You submit it to their site. You're good to go. So
I don't know. I have not seen what they're doing with the vaccine people. So like, if I have both doses of the vaccine, do I need a test?
Well, I don't know how that works. Okay, the vaccine isn't 100% effective. Sure. 95 is pretty damn good. So I think they probably use the same requirements. I mean, and why change it? I mean, do you really want to carry something that says you have the vaccine when you just get it shoved up your nose one more time and it gets you through? I mean, that just seems. Keep it simple at this point.
It's going to be like this for a while. You got to deal with it.
You're in the very beginnings of this. You give it another 6 months, hopefully
different.
everybody's got a shot in their arm, at least one by that point.
Yep.
And, things may change, but Hawaii's got it down. They want to get people in there. They want to get people to travel. And I mean, the plane tickets were nothing. I was looking at Hawaii, $420 from Seattle to Honolulu.
Well, and we were talking with a friend tonight too,
Crazy.
who wanted Jessica to go down to Costa Rica later this spring. And Costa Rica, man, cheap as can be. All-inclusive resorts for all-inclusives for $300 a night. I mean, it's I could drink $300 a night in alcohol. So I don't know how much of a great deal that is for anybody.
We're
so
not doing a show that night.
Anyway, we'll talk about that next week, and I hope everybody had a good night. This was a pretty smooth show, man. I like this better when we're not drinking.
We did all right. We did all right.
All right, guys.
Sunday is our sober day.
That's right.
Just saying.
All right, great. Well, we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching The Gentleman and the Jerk. I'm Chris. I'm the jerk. That's Mark.
I'm Mark. I'm the jerk.
He's the jerk too, I guess. Yeah. I guess Angela's the gentleman. I don't know.
Just a bunch of jerk offs here. But hey, it's fine.
You can see me during the week on my other show, The Daily Octane.
Twitch. He plays boring games, but I still watch him.
I'm on Twitch playing video games too. The Daily Octane over on Twitch as well. You can find me there. I might even be transitioning out of doing politics and just sticking with the gaming.
I still can't get you to play Kerbal Space Program.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
I will send you a Steam card to play it.
All right, fair enough. All right, you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.